Today we talk about the guy that's the best at what he does, and what he does isn't very nice. Except for when it is nice. Very, very nice. What's going on, Devoted Geeks? My name is Dallas Moore, and you just hit play on Geek Devotions, a show from a couple devoted geeks devoted to letting you know that you're loved. And I'm so glad that you're here. Do me a favor, if you like today's video, hit the like button. And if you really like what's happening on our channel, hit the subscribe button and be part of our wonderful Devoted Geek family. In light of the very successful Logan movie that just came out last week, I thought we'd talk about Logan and X-23. I should let you know that there won't be any real spoilers for the movie Logan because I'm talking mostly about the comic books, but there are some parallels that happen. So if you are wanting to go see the movie Logan, the spoilers sort of ahead. I'm not really going to go into a lot of detail about who X-23 is and her background. If you want to know about that, go ahead and hit the link up here to see Eris talk about it on Variant, because he does a very good job giving you the background history of X-23, aka Laura. Instead, I want to talk about the very interesting aspect between Logan and Laura. The two of them are unequivocally linked together for obvious reasons. I mean, he's got claws, she's got claws. He's got healing factor, she's got healing factor. He's got a bad attitude, she's got a bad attitude. But there's something interesting about the situation there. In the comic books, when Logan first meets Laura, there's this interesting conversation that takes place after she tries to kill him. And in the comics, he's talking to her, and he's letting her basically know this. What happened to her isn't her fault. And through the conversation, he lets her know that he understands where she's coming from. He understands where she's at and where she's been through. And at the same time, if you read the comic books, you see him carry her through life, helping her to understand really who she can be. Not what they tell her to be, not what the world has quote unquote raised her to be, but what she can be. He's unlocking the possibilities in her life as he does life with her. And it's really amazing. To be honest, the story arcs with Laura and Wolverine, they're probably some of my favorite that Marvel's done in recent history. The movie does some interesting stuff with it. I'm not a real big fan of some of the things that happen, but it takes place there a little bit too. But in the comic books, it really unpacks a deeper level between Wolverine and X-23. And I, for one, love it. Why do I love it? To be honest, if you've known me personally, or if you've been around our show, you know that there's a few characters that I just absolutely love. That's Batman, Cable, and Wolverine. Why? Because each one of them take a look at young people and sees a potential in them. Not just a potential in them to be better, but they see part of themselves in those individuals and said, let me unlock something in them. Let me help them become better because I know what's coming up in front of them. So Batman did it with Robin, Cable's done it with X-Force and a slew of other mutants, and Wolverine's done it with Laura, Jubilee, and several other members of the X family. And I connect on this on a real basis because that's kind of my mindset. When I see young people going through life and they're struggling with something that I personally relate to and unlock something in me, I don't want them to have to suffer alone, not knowing the truth that I know. And so I can't help it. I got to step in. And I try to be there for them. I try to let them know that there's a God who loves them. There's a God that cares. That's the reason why Celeste and I do this show, because we want you to know that you're loved. There's a lot of you who watch our show that you've been through some hard times and you're hurting or you were hurt and somebody did you wrong. And you know what? I've been there. Celeste has been there. And we love you in a very real way because our Father in heaven loves us and he loves you too. And he's using this video, he's using this ministry to reach you and other people to let you know that you don't have to hurt, so that you don't have to be alone. I had a really cool moment the other day where I was kind of chilling, and I go to a lot of different high schools, and I help out with a program called First Priority here locally. And one of the schools I go to, I really don't do a lot, at least in my mind I don't do a lot. I just kind of show up. They have really great leaders here in the area who do a lot of stuff, and I'm just kind of there as backup to help them out. And, you know, it's cool. Well, one of the people in the group, they contacted me, and they were going through something very very deep and very intense. They felt alone. They felt like no one was there for them. They felt like nobody cared. Now, this is not a person that's ever going to go to my youth group. They're not really going to come to my church. They're plugged in somewhere else. But for some reason, they connected with me in that moment. Why? Because I was there, because I was faithful. And in that moment, I could have easily passed it off, like, you should talk to your youth pastor, which is cool. And I do push people to talk to their pastors and talk to their own, the people in authority over them. That's very real. But in that moment, I realized it was an opportunity for me to minister to that person. Because I've been there. I've felt alone. I've felt abandoned. I have felt like I was the only person on the outside of a big, big world. So that moment, I just spent a little bit of time with them, talking with them, walking them through, and let them know that there's someone that cares. And his name is Jesus. And that even though they feel like they're alone, they're not. They're never really alone because Holy Spirit is there with them all the time. And in this world, we have this wonderful thing that if we're believers, if we are followers of Jesus Christ, we have this wonderful family called Christians. Some of them act a little crazy, but we're still there. And that's what Wolverine did with X-23 in the comic books. He saw her, he said, I see something inside of you. I know what you went through. I went through practically the exact same thing. Let me help you. Because Wolverine went a very, very dark path, and he was hurt badly. And when he looked at Laura, he said, I don't want her to go through the same thing. She's already been hurt so much. Let me help her become something better today. So I don't know where you're at today. I don't know what's going on in your life, but I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that the pain that you've suffered, while it's real, you don't have to let it rule your life. You can conquer this thing. You can move forward. You can be better, and you don't have to do it alone. I also want you to know that for some of you out there, there's somebody in your life, and you need to open your eyes, just like Wolverine did for Laura. You need to open your eyes and be there for them, because there's people in your life that are going through the same thing that you did. And the fact that you went through it and you're flying high, you've made it past it, that now qualifies you to help those people. Maybe you're still struggling with it, and you're like, I'm still working through this. Hey, there's people beside you who need help working through it too. Be there for each other. Open your eyes and see the people around you. Because God does that. He sends people to you who are in a similar situation or have been through similar situations because He knows you are the person that can help them. Through these videos, Celeste and I minister to a lot of people. We reach out to a lot of people across YouTube and cyberspace. I minister to a lot of people in my church, but I'm not everywhere. And there are people who will never receive me. There are people who will never understand me. But those people are who you're supposed to reach. There are people that you can minister to. There are people that only you can show the way. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Geek Devotions. Do me a favor. My friends at Geeks Under Grace are doing something really, really cool right now. They are doing Bible studies based off movies that are coming out over this next year. And the very first one is for Logan, which it just so happens that Celeste and I wrote for them. So go check it out. If you're like, I don't want to go see the movie Dallas, it's rated R for very good reasons, and you don't want to go to it. I understand completely. You don't actually have to watch the movie to follow along the Bible study. The way that we've written it and the way that all the ones will be written is if you have a small group and new people come in that they haven't seen the movie, it's okay. They can follow along. Everything's explained very well, and it's really pretty good. So do me a favor, check out the Bible studies and let Geeks Under Grace know what you think about them. Let us know what you think about them. Let me know what you think about the Logan Bible study. There'll be links down below in the description to the page with all the Bible studies that are coming out. And throughout the year, the page will update with new ones. So keep an eye out. I think the next one's Beauty and the Beast, and then they're doing Ghost in the Shell, and then, super excited, Power Rangers. So check that out. So question of the day. What character do you relate to in a very real way? I've already told you my personal ones of Wolverine, Cable, and Batman for very interesting reasons. Let me know in the comments below who you relate to and why. And don't forget to follow all of our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And do us a favor, if you were ministered by this video, if this really ministers to you in a real way, send it out to your friends. Send it out to people who you know need to hear this. Stay tuned because Celeste has a really great word next week. And then the following week, I'm bringing something really cool involving Doctor Who. And a shout out to my good friend Daniel K. Norris with the Trail of Fire. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to stay devoted. Peace and love.